Saving someone's life can make a difference. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing absolutely fine. Today I have with me Khushbu. She's an animal rescue for many years now. She herself is a parent to 2 cats and a dog that she rescued from the streets. Welcome Khushbu to my channel.
Hi Sneha, thank you for having me.
Alright, so let me start by asking you how you have been an animal rescuer for many years now. How has it changed your life?
So it's not like I had like a plan of becoming an animal rescuer. I was like, okay, you know what, I want to go ahead and rescue animals. Nothing like that. It just happened to fall into my plate.
Right.
So this was, I think, undergraduation, second or first year, something like that. Long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I was hanging out with one of my really close friends from that time.
Right.
In CP, okay?
Mm.
And it was actually a very auspicious day. It was one night before Diwali.
Right.
So I was just there hanging out, because I couldn't go home. So I saw this really tiny, like this tiny puppy with like 2-3 street kids, and they were like kind of poking her and irritating her and troubling her and stuff like that.
Mm.
So it just didn't look nice,
Mm.
watching that. So I went to the kids and like, is this your dog? Mujhe de do, I'll take it. He's like, nah, mera hai, but you have to pay me. So I said, okay, I'll give you 500, will you give me the puppy? He's like, yeah, you take it. So that's how, for the first time, I rescued somebody from the street. And I got her home. Home as in my hostel actually. I snuck her in and I named her Poppy. And then I met with a local vet and, I asked to check if she's doing fine and what are the things that you need to do because I had no idea, right? So then they told me that this is the things you do, and with the whole protocol. And then they also had this CSR thing, like a NGO thing which they've started. It's called Adopt an Indian Desi Dog. It's still functional and it's in Anand Vihar.
Right.
Anand Niketan actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Anand Niketan. So if anybody wants to go and be a part of it, they can. So they rehabilitate street dogs and cats from India to all over the world. Globally they do that. So I kept Poppy hidden in my hostel for 6 months, and then eventually I took care of everything for her, and she got finally adopted to a nice family in Vancouver. So she flew from here, went to Seattle, settled down there for about 10 days to get, okay with the climate and the change, and then she went to her forever home in Vancouver. And I think she must be like a 12-year-old grandma now. So,
Lucky Poppy. I must say.
Yeah.
I wish everyone gets such a life. Okay, coming to my next question. What have been the difficulties as a rescuer?
I personally feel that there are 2 main challenges when you are a rescuer, feeder, anything, right? So the number 1 challenge is gaining the trust of that particular animal that you want to take care of, because they are on the streets, so life is tough, so they're very defensive about what is approaching them, about their own health, about their own safety. So they might not be very friendly, they won't be like you want to go pat them, so they'll be okay with it. A lot of them will be, but a lot of them won't be. So you have to, it's just how it is with them, just the temperament. But, you need to be a little patient with them, and I think what happens is that when you show them love, they understand that you're coming from a good place, they catch on to your vibe, and then they let you, and then you become friends, and then you take care of them. Right? So that's one challenge, gaining the trust. Now the second challenge is that a lot of people are not okay with this activity. They think that the animals on the streets are actually nuisance. Right? They don't understand the problem here, but they just think that they're nuisance. So they will stop people from feeding them. They'll be like, why are you doing it? You're making that animal think that the street is their house, so they become territorial, and when we go for morning walks, they tend to bite us. But that's not the case. An animal will not bite you unless you don't threaten it. That's basic animal instinct, right? So that's one massive challenge that all feeders and all rescuers face. But now the good thing is that High Court passed a rule a few days ago that all strays have the right to be fed, and people who are feeders and rescuers are allowed to do that, and they cannot be stopped. So I think it's a great step forward.
Absolutely, I completely agree with you. Now coming to my third question. Now let's understand, why are people so scared of adopting from a shelter or even on the streets?
So, why they're so hesitant is because a lot of people are not into adoption. They want to, get like a proper branded pedigree dog, get like a husky in Delhi. I don't know why we do that, or like get a Saint Bernard, which is actually an Alaskan dog. You get that in Delhi. I don't know why you would do that, right? And Shiba Inus and Cocker Spaniels, and all those big popular breeds, Labradors. So people tend to do that because it's like a status symbol for them, and they think it's an exotic dog. So let's get them home, because we can. So why not? That's one thing. Now the other thing is, a lot of people feel that when you pick a cat from a shelter, you are not aware of the background, where that particular animal comes from. Does it have birth defects? Is it suffering from diseases which are lifelong autoimmune diseases? So that's a headache they don't want to, deal with. That you get a sick dog home, a special needs dog home, And it's not necessary that all these shelter and street dogs will have that. It's just an assumption. A lot of them are super healthy, a lot of them are sick, so you don't know, you can't tell. And it's also not a lot of effort because my dog, Shiro, he himself is a rescue from the streets that I did on my own, and he's a special needs dog. And honestly telling you, I don't think that it's too much effort. It's just a very little bit of care, and I think it works wonders. He's a super perfect guy. He goes for walks, plays, really playful, everything like any other normal dog. Just a little bit of precaution here and there.
Yeah.
So people don't want to deal with that baggage, and people don't want to deal with the emotional baggage that a shelter or a street dog may come from because of the trauma that they go through their entire lives. So people don't want to deal with it. So
I also feel like, a lot of humans overall look for perfection in their dogs.
Yeah, and you can't have that.
Yeah.
Because there's no such thing as perfection in a dog, right? Or anything for that matter. That's just, I don't know, seeking something that is not there. It's not present. You can't find perfection in a dog because a dog is just a dog. It's not, your key to happiness or your key to rescue you from your emotional issues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Your dog is just a companion, just like your friends or your partner or your parents or your siblings. It's just a companion who you love and who loves you back.
Absolutely,
Right.
absolutely. And you should adopt.
For sure.
I don't know why people are so reluctant. Okay, coming to my next question, how does one contribute towards these stray animals while staying home or even going physically to the field?
So it works both ways. So the different people, different approach, I think. For somebody who's pretty familiar with being around an animal, that person can directly go to the street, do their thing, approach dogs, take care of them, because they already know how to approach an animal, right? So those people are chill, they can totally do it, right? You and I personally can go out to the streets of our colonies. That we'll definitely find some stray animals, we'll find stray dogs, we'll find stray cats. We can provide them with food, water, make tiny sheltered box-like homes for them to protect them from rain and from heat and from cold, give them cushions, give them sweaters in winters and stuff like that. So that's a one-on-one thing. And if you find like-minded people in your society, in your block, you can make like a WhatsApp group, and then like you guys can collectively do stuff. You can also get into neutering and spaying them, which is again a great thing to do. Now, if you're somebody who's not had prior experience and you feel that what if the animal on the street bites me, which is genuine enough because it can happen, right? So you go the shelter route where you work as a volunteer, and the shelter guys will help you, getting open and getting okay with interacting with an animal. You volunteer there, you donate, you sponsor, you virtually adopt. So many ways to do it.
Right. Yeah, I think you can choose one of them as per your convenience. Okay, coming to my next question. Now this is something that is also I would want you to tell our audience and people who are watching or hearing us. One word to out there.
Something for the
Yes,
right?
Yes.
So I personally feel that if you are an animal lover, I don't think you will be into this whole process of let me buy something. Because I get it that you want to give a puppy a great home and all of that. But you must know that why adopting is so much better and it's so required right now, because there are so many animals on the streets who need homes. We're more humans and less animals. So I think if everybody starts getting in practice, there will be a time when there will be no animals on the street, because they will all have found their forever homes, right? So a lot of people, and this is something that I think people should know, a lot of people do not know that when you go and purchase a puppy or a kitten or an exotic bird for that matter, what you don't know is that the mother who's given birth is going through a lot of painful trauma. Now what happens is that the breeder will get hold of a female cat or a dog or whatsoever and inseminate it artificially or naturally, whatever, alright? And then the female has given birth to puppies, and after say 2 months, once the puppies are 2 months old, the puppies are taken away and sold for whatever price. Now the female is made pregnant again and again and again and again and again till the time her sexual maturity is over. She hits menopause. It's a different word for them, but I'm going to call it menopause. Till the time she is not able to like after a certain age when she's not able to reproduce, till then the breeder will make sure that this particular female is constantly giving birth back to back. And now what happens is it's like a vicious cycle of the mother giving birth, the kids being taken away, mother feeling depressed, anxious, worried, and suffering from separation anxiety and PTSD and various other mental health issues. And this just keeps happening again and again and again and again and again till the time she can't give birth to more children. Now these are all your mental health issues that the mother is facing, right? So then apart from this, the body goes for a toss. Like imagine reproducing back to back for so many years, right? The mother develops various sexual health issues, right? Now this is something that I don't know, it's a little graphic, but I think people should know. So if you on streets, if you notice, a lot of times you'll find these really frail female dogs and cats with cervical and vaginal prolapse. Now prolapse is a condition where an internal organ comes out through an orifice. Orifice as in like an opening, any body opening, right? So since it's a reproductive thing, so out of the vagina, you'll see that the uterus has come out, because the uterus has been so overused that it has lost the capacity to stay put inside the body, and it has come out, right? So you will see that these actually, and how these female mothers, they have landed out there is because now she can't give birth to the babies. The breeder has no gain coming out of that particular mother, so he just throws it out on the street. So this is the fate of that mother. And like that, so many mothers, because so many people went out to a breeder and wanted to buy a puppy or a kitten or whatsoever. So you think that, oh my god, I'm going to get a puppy and I'm going to get a kitten and I'm going to give them the best home ever and I'm going to love them. Great, that's a great thought. But the thing is that you don't know that this is what happened when you wanted to purchase one. So I don't think this is a nice thing to do. You should totally adopt. All of them are amazing. I mean, first of all, why do you want to spend that kind of money? Right? It is free. Adoption is free. You will give somebody a new home. You will save a life. And you will get the same kind of love. Maybe even more, because maybe that particular animal will know that you gave them a second chance of life. So I think all I want to tell people is just please adopt and stop shopping. You're not buying vegetables, you're buying lives. And it's not worth it.
I am going to end this by saying thank you very much for being part of this conversation, and I hope you gain some knowledge and you can make a difference too in someone's life. And I would like to end by saying I hope to see you next week, and I do tune in for more fruitful content.